Welcome back. Now, this video should have been recorded almost a month ago. And if you've been paying attention to the channel, you'll know that I asked JK Army to get me one of these saws because I have communication with them. And they said, yeah, not a problem. Which one would you like? Picked a colour. And once they'd sent it, it took like 2 days for this to get to me, well, to the UK. So it's in the UK, landed sort of early to mid-June. And then Parcel Force here in the UK basically put it down to awaiting customs clearance. This was a bit of a false statement on their website, and it sat there for almost 30 days. I had to go, they wouldn't deal with me as the receiver, so I had to go back to JK Army. They were actually really helpful. They put in something through their system to say what the hell's going on. It came back as customs clearance, but obviously they just pushed a little bit from their side, I believe. And then before you know it, the complaint went in and it was cleared and it was ready to be sent. So I'm then on the phone with Parcel Force trying to get this thing paid for, to get the custom charges paid for, and get it delivered. So they're like, right, well, we know you've been waiting for this parcel for a long time. We'll deliver it tomorrow. Now, my local Parcel Force delivery driver is absolutely, utterly useless. So no matter what I get through Parcel Force, he keeps putting no one at address. And the address this gets sent to, there's like 40 or 50 people that work there. So both sides of the building, there's tons of people that can accept parcels. And he just wasn't attempting it, and he does this all the time. However, I say to Parcel Force, like, look, I'm going to collect it, so put it for collection. I'll drive down to Birmingham to the depot, which is a massive inconvenience for me. But, I just wanted to get this thing, get it ready on camera. I know you guys are waiting to look forward to getting to this, but I have to give you the backstory just to get it off my chest. It's a little bit of a rant. Just skip ahead if you don't want to listen to it. So I drive down there, go in to collect the thing, and they're like, yeah, you need ID. I go, here's my ID. They're like, no, you need your ID with the business address on it. And I'm like, nobody has ID with their business address. They're like, oh, we can't give you a parcel. I said to the guy behind the desk, I was like, right, okay, you work for Parcel Force. Is your driving license, whatever, registered to Parcel Force's address? And he was like, no. I was like, exactly. So how the hell am I supposed to do it? We go backwards and forwards. They're asking me to do this, that, and the other. They asked me to describe the parcel. I was like, it's rough this size. By this time, I'm getting really pissed off. I'm so irate at this point at Parcel Force. And I think the two guys behind the counter could see how pissed off I was getting about the situation. So they asked me, like, what's the name, what's the number, which they just read off the parcel, and they just gave it to me without checking the ID. So I think they just did not want the confrontation that was literally about to open up onto them. So it's here. What is it? WTF is in this box. This is the 416A5, the slightly cheaper one, not the full CNC one, which is like almost $1,000. This is the cheaper one, 416A5 from Gunsmodify. Why is this 416A5 so damn important? Well, it runs off the most reliable GBBR platform on this planet. I know a lot of people out there love VFCs, but honestly, they don't become a patch on the MWS system. They just don't. Take it from me, I've bought pretty much most things out there, and you tend to go with what works and what you know. So let's get the box open here. We don't care about boxes on this channel. I hope I haven't bored you too much with that rant, but look at this thing. I went for the FDE version. Wasn't really a fan of black. I know the 416A5s came in that funny RAL 8000 colour, but JK Armour was able to get me one of these. So 416A5 in FDE, and I think this colour just absolutely sells it. The only thing that's not on here, which will be on yours if you were to order one, there was a little please remove sticker on here. So I pulled the sticker off and then realised they meant the heat shrink on the bolt release. So we're just going to pull this off here. I imagine this is just to protect certain parts. Maybe if they've got them on display, this part doesn't mark up the receiver or anything like that. So this is a 416A5 model. It's based on the Tokyo Marui MWS system. That being said, it's all Gunsmodify's parts. And Gunsmodify are one of those manufacturers that do parts for the MWS that are actually worth their weight. I'm not saying that about all of them. You obviously got like people like Archwick as well. Nelson, he does good quality stuff. But you know, I tend to avoid the likes of Angry Gun and various other, you know, little brands just because they don't produce them very well. I know you've got the T8 system, which people tell me it's slightly different from the MWS system, which is why I haven't touched it. So expect, you know, we're going to have a GM modified bolt, we're going to have GM modified trigger box. The receiver is absolutely looking fantastic. The HK bit there is a bit dull, but it's as soon as you place it a little bit off to your line of sight, you can see it. You'll have matching serial numbers on the top and bottom. So this serial number here will match the one on the lower. The markings, you've got white for safe. Let's make sure this is cocked because it won't go into safe if you don't do that. You've got red for select fire, semi-auto. And we've got select fire with the 30 and the little box like HK likes to do. You've got the sort of more modernised grip, which isn't bad on this model at all. And we've got the 416A5 style stock, which fits very well on this buffer tube. There really isn't much play at all. A tiny bit, but not what you'd expect or see on other models. It's a polymer stock, obviously in the same colour, and then we've got this slightly off colour. Slightly flexible. It's not like a proper rubber pad, but you know, it's going to give you a bit more grip compared to like a solid plastic. You know, we've got trademarks here. The older 416s had a trademark here. It said like, please read manual before use. We've got ambidextrous mag release, which can be operated on both sides. We've got ambidextrous bolt release, which can be operated on both sides. Your selector's ambidextrous. The trigger is, I'd probably say, similar to the MWS trigger, but just a little bit better on the brake. Like there's not as much mush there compared to the normal Marui trigger. So for an out-of-the-box trigger, very good. I believe this can be adjusted. You've got like the little grub screws on the GM Modify trigger pack. You get a PMAG included in the box. Now this is interesting because this will be the first V3 that's been sent that I've got. So very interesting indeed. I'm hoping it has like the newer base plate, which I think it does by trying to look underneath. Trying to see if there's anything different there. Could be, could not be, who knows. But this will be obviously important as well because they've released so many different versions and they've updated it. The easy loaders that I do, like we had the normal easy loader, which worked with the PMags absolutely fine. Then I updated it to the 2.0, which fit the version 2 mags, and now we've got the version 3 mags. So I've finally got one in my hands, so I can test it. And if it needs tweaking, I can do that because a few people have had issues with the newer V3 mags with the easy loaders. We can put some gas in this thing just so it's ready. The charging valve is on the back at the top of the mag. There we go, bit of gas in the mag. And let's put the receivers together. But before we do that, let's just take a quick look at the upper. So we've got the 416A5 rail. You've got a normal birdcage flash hider, which is threaded to counterclockwise, I believe. Yep. Flip it over. Very nice finish all round. You've got that HK style iron sight, which you can push the lever here and it will come off. Usual trademarks. You've got the version, so if you could see it there on the nozzle. It's not going to stick in now. See if I can slightly push that forward. want it to stick in the hop. It's not going to do it now. But I don't know if you saw that. So just down there, you'll see version 3.5, which is their latest version of their MWS nozzle. I've used these nozzles many times in the past, and they work really well. The GM hole bolt system is very good. We've got some extra springs, a little C-clip, and some grub screws. I imagine all that's for the trigger box. That's the thing off there. I do have a card here which gives you an 8% coupon code on JK Army, so that's free for anybody that wants to use it. There you go. Put in that code, be the first to use it, get 8% off. Let's marry the two parts of the rifle. Front pin goes in really nice. Back pin. With the MWSs, they always catch the buffer a little bit, so you can either just sometimes jog the bolt back, or you could just give it like a little wiggle, or sometimes I'll just press it in with my finger. Rear pin goes in nice, and the first thing I want to tell you is there's zero, literally, you saw how easy that upper went together, you saw how easy the pins were to push in and out, and there is zero flex on that receiver. That has got to be the best fitting receiver, MWS wise, that I've come across. Do I have an MWS that I can show you? As I look round, probably not. I think my Mark 18's downstairs, but yeah, the fitment and finish of the upper and lower receiver is absolutely brilliant. Does the forward assist work? Let's give that a try, because sometimes they're fake. Yeah, forward assist works. Not that you'd ever need it. Polymer dust cover. You can lock the bolt back now with your fire grip hand. It is a little bit weird because it sits really narrow behind this little ledge on the receiver, but you can do that now without having to come off the fire controls, pull it with your right hand and hold that bolt release, and it functions very well. Let's put the box out the way and we can take a look at this thing and give it a test fire, because I haven't test fired this yet. We're discovering it together. All I did was, as what I do on a lot of things, pull the box open, make sure nothing's broken, nothing out of the ordinary. You will see the bench is a little bit cleaner. It's not clean, but it's better. I do kind of wish they'd give like a tan or an FDE mag with it. Putting the black mag in the box is they've actually just snuck their serial number thing in there as well. Nice that that's not on the outside of the replica. Put the P mag in. That will lock back. Let's hold the bolt release down with the left side, and let's turn it in a safe direction first. A spring rattle which sounds like it's coming from the rail section. I don't know if you can hear that. Let me try and get it for you. So a bit of resonance on the spring. Full auto. Let's give it a quick burst. There's a bit of hesitation there, so we'll have to just keep an eye on that and make sure. It kind of reciprocated then, like a bit like a VFC. I wouldn't use full auto on a battle rifle anyway, just because I think you're wasting, you know, accurate shots doing it like that. Let's give it one more blast. Yeah, it's struggling a little bit. It is a bit cold here at the moment, but we'll have to persevere with that. What temp's the mag at, so I can show you. Because they do have a funky little sticker. How do you tell on this? Isn't it meant to light up? So this must be lower than 14 degrees because it's not showing. If I put my thumb over that, try and warm it up. No, so this mag is colder than 14 degrees at the moment. What I will say is the bolt is quite heavily greased, so I'd want to pull all that off and put some better lubricant on there. Now I do have one of the prototype version 2s of the loaders. Seems to go on there okay. Let's get some 0.3s in the mag and see what this puppy's doing. In the grand scheme of things, this is not an expensive rifle, and it's nice to have a 416 kit that isn't like... Nice to have a 416 that out the box you can use. You don't have to put anything in it. It comes with a mag. You haven't got to build it like the HAO kits or various others that have tried. It's just an out the box replica, like what, $400-500? I mean, come on, that in itself is already a win. So it does feel on the version 2, but it is tight. So I'll have to have a look at that, see if we can rectify it. It does go on pretty tight onto the lips. So yeah, version 3s are just a little bit hard to push in. So we'll get to work on looking why that is. I'm going to load the first round in. I don't know where the hop's set. We've got a 0.3 gram BB. And we're going to put a round through it. So we've got 1.1 joules on propane, 1 joule, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1. Showing you, just so I do it that way, just so I'm not showing you every single shot. 1.2, 1.1, 1.16. That's on a 0.3, so that's really not bad, because usually on a 0.3 these things do tend to joule creep up to, you know, 1.3 to 1.5 joules. So more usable out the box than many others. I presume this has just got a normal valve in it. Yes, it does. I don't think these have adjustable valves in, but a good contender to try one of my new M passes. I'm going to pull this pin out here. Let's have a look at the bolts. So you can see how caked up it is. We got a cloth somewhere. Let's get something. I've got something here. There we go. Just clean all this really thick grease off. It's very sticky. Very sticky. Got some Jaeger. This is the one grease. I'd use the Jaeger 1 oil on the inside of the bolt just so it could seep, so it can seep down. But I'm just going to put a little bit in there. Just a little bit on the components. You don't have to go mad with this stuff. It is really good stuff. Just where all the contact points meet. The thin coat is all you need. In ideal world, I'd have the gun apart, strip all the transport grease out. So with these P-mags, you do have a different way of loading them. If you want to, you basically, without touching the valve on the back, made me jump, that did, pull that all the way up, push it all the way down. You can fill them like this, but I don't recommend it. How I would do it is if you are using it this way, just close it till it's almost closed like that, and just drop them in one by one, so you give them the best chance of stacking correctly. And then we close that down and we can pop those lips are really, really tight. It might just be that they've made this so tight and reinforced it. Once you've done that all the way down, push the button on the bottom and we can load this back in. Now it does look like a blank mag, doesn't it? But if you look closely here, we can pull the sticker off to reveal trademarks. People are saying that the version 3 mags don't have trademarks. They do. You just have to peel that sticker off, and there you'll see the markings. I'm hoping I've had a new phone, so I'm hoping this camera does much better on the focus. It looks like it is already. So we've got the mag filled up. We did dump a load of gas out of that, so let's top it up. This propane canister is empty almost. And when you've got a new mag, it will take a hell of a lot longer the first fill. So can we put this dodgy box anywhere better? So semi-auto, do a burst, full auto. Not great at all. It's gassing and freezing up. Could it be the mag? Well, let's give that a test. The mag is cold. It would be interesting to see if it does that on a normal Stanag MWS mag. So, got my M733 here. Don't know how many rounds is left in the mag, but Gen 3P mag. We're empty, need some more BBs. Let's quickly do that if we can. You know, I do wonder if, do I have a normal MWS loader to hand? No, I don't. We're just going to have to suffer. I don't know why they had to change these lips. I mean, I've never had a problem with any of mine. Right. See if we can get some rounds through the M733. Yep, so you see that ran with the new PMag on full auto absolutely fine. So what's the culprit with the Gunsmodify 416 as to why the full auto is not very good? Could it be the new nozzle? Well, we can test that because I have a GM complete bolt. This has the version 3 nozzle. So let's see. Obviously that one that comes with the gun has HK markings and it's machined a little bit differently. Let's charge this mag back up again. I know you're probably thinking this video is going far too long, but I just want to see, because if we do it on this bolt and it's the same, then we know it's probably something to do with maybe the trigger pack or the timing of the gun. So it's got VFC ITIS at the moment. Most of the VFC guns will perform on full auto exactly the same. So it would be interesting to see what the issue is. So we're going to pull this up, make sure you don't grab the valve as you do that, and you'll see the other way to fill them. This isn't like a horrendous way, but it does allow the BBs to literally go flying out if you're not smooth with your operation, filling it this way. Like that. and then you slide that in. And the amount of times I've tried to do it like this and I've slipped and I've dumped all the rounds out, to remember to press the button. I forgot to do that a few times as well before obviously I did the easy loaders. So we're going to pull the bolt out, if I can get it out, pulling the pin. We'll pull the HK bolt out. We'll put a off the shelf as it comes GM Evo bolt. This is the economy one, the cheaper one. Shuts easier. And let's see how it does. So semi-auto, full auto, let's go. No. So it's not the magazine that's causing this, and it's not the bolt. So what could be doing it on the Gunsmodify 416? And I believe no one has addressed something like this as far as I'm aware. So there's nothing wrong with the bolt apart from it freezing up a little bit. You can see all the condensation on it there. So if that's not the problem, what's the problem? Well, it's got to be with the trigger pack, surely. Maybe it's not timing it right. It would be interesting to try the GM Evo bolts in my other guns with this mag, maybe. Perhaps we should try a Marui Stanag mag. We'll leave that for another video if you guys want to see it. Hope you've enjoyed the overview of this 416A5 from Gunsmodify. Great first impressions in terms of build quality. Semi-auto works absolutely fine, but full auto is, for want of a better word, dog shit. So maybe we can solve that, maybe we can't. We'll keep going. Thanks very much for tuning in. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Put whatever questions you got down below. I'll try to answer the best I can. And as always, more importantly, from me and from Bench, we'll see you in the next one.